Strat-O-Matic Excelled Carryover League. Brought to you by the Shrimp Troller. 1972 to 1975.
Game 259, Oakland at Seattle. Welcome back, baseball fans. 1972-75 Carryover League. We got a series in the American League West between the Oakland A's and the Seattle Mariners. And it's not what you think it is, folks. The Seattle Mariners don't exist. They don't even inherit what the Seattle Pilots did. They're an expansion team. I just got to take you right through this, folks. There's no reason to give you anything more. Game 1 of this series opens up in Seattle. Catfish Hunter versus Steve Klein. The A's get a double by Washington, a double by Reggie, an RBI single by Bando, 2-zip. Bottom of the inning, North single steals second, scores on a Glenn Adams double, 2-1 Oakland. In the third inning, Jordy double, singles by Bando, Hegan tennis, sac fly by Onaveras, 5-1 A's. But the Mariners, single by Adams, 2-run homer John Ellis, 5-3. All off of Catfish Hunter. In the fifth inning, a single by North, stolen base, Matty Alou single, Glenn Adams 2-run homer. It's 6-5 Seattle. In the sixth, they add another run, a double by Joe Pepitone, RBI single by Al Gallagher. It's 7-5. The big bad Oakland A's in the seventh. After 2 outs and a single, a walk, a single, an RBI by Mike Hegan, Gene Tennis, 3-run homer. It's 9-7 Oakland. Ninth inning, solo homer by Reggie, 10-7. Bottom of the ninth. Dave Hamilton is brought in, the third Oakland reliever after Locker and Todd with fingers warming. Gives up a homer to Chris Arnold to make it 10-8. A single to Matty Alou after an out. A double by John Ellis to make it 10-9. A strikeout. And then Raleigh Fingers is brought in a 10-9 game with a tying run at second base to face Danny Thompson. He flies out to deep left field. This is everything you could ever ask for if you're in the Pacific Northwest and you've got a new baseball club in town. And that is the big bad Oakland A's come to town and you slug it around with them. You beat them up a little bit. You don't get the W, but Seattle played hard as you can imagine against the Dynasty A's. Gave them a scare. 10-9, Oakland wins game 1. Game number 2. It is Kenny Holtzman and Ross Grimsley in a battle of left-handers. First inning, Bill North singles, steals second. I say Bill North, he's not on Oakland, he's on Seattle. That's part of the allure of the expansion draft and the carryover league. The traditional major league players can't keep everybody, so Oakland has no Bill North. Seattle does. He singles, he steals second base, scores on a single by John Ellis, 1-zip. Second inning, Mike Hegan doubles, tennis singles, Larry Brown singles, 2-1 A's, doing Oakland stuff. Bottom of the fifth, Danny Thompson solo homer, it's 2-2. Ross Grimsley and Holtzman duking it out into the seventh. It's a walk to Chris Arnold. It is a John Vukovic triples off the Kenny Holtzman card and scores on a Bill North double. Meanwhile, Ross Grimsley throws 8 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, a walk, 4 strikeouts. Skip Lockwood comes into the ninth, walks a guy, gets 3 outs. Mariners get a split. A 4-2 victory in Game 2. Let's go to Oakland for Game 3. Game 3, Oakland. Seattle Mariners defeat the Oakland A's 5-2 and take a 2-1 series lead. Something that no one's been able to do this year. Get ahead of the A's and stay ahead. You got in this game, you had a Matty Alou single, scores on a sac fly. You have Matty Alou double, scores on a single by Glenn Adams. 3 singles in the seventh. Bill North scores, knocks in a run. Pinch hitter Tom Paciorek at a 2-run single. Oakland's bullpen touted highly before the season, but it's been kind of ordinary. Locker, Todd, and Hamilton all gave up hits. Great starting pitching this time by Dick Woodson, following it along with what Ross Grimsley did in the previous game. Woodson, 7 1/3, 3 hits, 2 runs, only 1 was earned. He beats Don Wilson, one of the pitchers Oakland got in the offseason Vita Blue deal, 5-2. 2-1 series lead for your Mariners. Game number 4. It's Steve Klein and Catfish Hunter battling again on short rest. They both didn't pitch very well, and they were pulled early in a 10-9 affair. Pretty similar here. Not pitching well. Matty Alou, gone. 1-zip. Bottom of the first. Washington, Rudy singles. Sal Bando, 3-run bomb. RBI single by Joe Rudy in the fourth, 4-1. In the third. In the fourth, 4 singles by the Mariners. 2 runs, it's 4-3. In the 6th inning, a walk, an error by Hegan, and a 2-run double by Danny Thompson. Hits 5-4 Seattle. What is going on? But the A's come back off a Klein in the 6th. A single, a walk, and Gene Tennis with a 3-run homer. They had another run in the 7th on a Reggie Jackson RBI single. And Jim Todd, Dave Hamilton, and Raleigh Fingers complete the game. Fingers gets the save. Catfish Hunter wins this one. Again, he didn't pitch that well. 6 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs, 3 earned. But the A's really needed that to even the series, 2 games apiece. Let's keep rolling, folks. I tell you, this is some great baseball by an overmatched squad. Game 5, Seattle-Oakland. Here we are. It's going to be, for the first time, number 4 starter Steve Busby versus Kenny Holtzman on short rest. After a homer by Tom Paciorek, makes it 1-zip Seattle, the A's get to Busby. A single, a triple by Hegan, a sac fly by Rusty Torres. In the 5th, Seattle finally has a mortally bad inning. A single, error by Vukovic, single, error by the starting pitcher, single, another error by Vukovic. This looks like an expansion team imploding, finally, for an inning. So it's 6-1 A's, and we're thinking this is over, right? Kenny Holtzman goes back out for the 6th inning. He's got a 6-1 lead. Surely these Mariners are going to pack their tents to go home, right? Nope. Bill North single, Chris Arnold single, Jerry Morales single, John Ellis double, Tom Paciorek 3-run bomb. Game's tied at 6. Ken Holtzman's gone. Sent to the showers after blowing a 6-1 lead. Busby was pulled after 5. It's going to be a battle of bullpens. Immediately, it's a battle between the lefty Rich Folkers and Bob Locker. They both pitched outstanding for the next 3 innings. Rich Folkers, 3 innings, a hit, and 2 Ks. Bob Locker, 2 hits and 1 K. Then Raleigh Fingers comes on for the A's, while Jerry Bell, the long man, comes on for Seattle. 2 scoreless innings for Raleigh Fingers. Then in the bottom of the 10th, a leadoff single by Mike Hegan, and Gene Tennis, who's really having probably one of the best years of all the Dynasty A players you're familiar with, particularly with clutch hits, home runs, along with Reggie, of course, overshadowing guys like Joe Rudy and Campaneris and Claudel Washington, guys who aren't doing that particularly fantastic. Oakland wins 8-6 in 10 innings. They feel like they've been in a battle with like the Cincinnati Reds or the New York Mets or what was the other team they played? The Dodgers. Yeah, that's right. No, it's the lowly Mariners. And Oakland does have a 3-2 series lead. But we will go back to Seattle for a Game 6 today. Can Seattle keep putting up the fight? That's something we just want to see. We don't see much of it out of the other teams. California. Actually, Texas played pretty well. But it's good to see the big bad Oakland A's get a bloody nose every once in a while. Game 6 from Seattle. The A's are going to send Al Downing on the mound. We're going to put him out there. Al also acquired in the Vita Blue deal. It's basically Don Wilson and Al Downing for Vita Blue. 9-9 with a 2.97 ERA for the 72 Dodgers in 203 innings. And for Seattle, it's Ross Grimsley, a nice pickup. A guy who Pitched with Cincinnati and Baltimore and the Expos in the 1970s. Frankly, Baltimore didn't even really need him because they could pretty much go from the Cuellar, McNally era straight to the Grant Jackson and Scott McGregor, Tippy Martinez, Mike Flanagan era. So they don't really need Ross. So he went out to the Great Northwest. Al Downing, Ross Grimsley. Can Ross do it a second time, beat the A's twice in 6 days? Game 6, and especially for an expansion team, SRO, standing room only in Seattle. They don't have a dome built yet. They've renovated Six Stadium. The Kingdom's under construction. But you got 18,000 of the loudest people on planet Earth here going absolutely bonkers for their Mariners, packed to the gills in a little ballpark. Let's get started from Six Stadium. It's not raining yet. They cleaned the bathroom troughs, roto-rootered the plumbing. Bergkamp and Harris leads off. 35 single, 1-2, he lines out. Larry Brown 1-6, bounce to third. Joe Rudy 35 is a base hit. And with 2 outs, Reggie 42 flies to right. Leading off for Seattle, Bill North 68, double 1-3, base hit. He's taken off, he just will. What's he got to lose, folks? He's on an expansion team, and it's his former team, or future team, depending on how you look at it. He gets thrown out on a 20 for the first time in the entire series. Batting second, the DH, Matty Alou. 68, base hit off of Val Downing. B-stealer, he'll stay there. Jerry Morales, 56, flies to center. And with 2 outs, it's John Ellis. 44 is a walk. 2 on, 2 outs, Tom Pachork. So that's some big hits in the series. 1-8 is single ... and the M's have a lead. Runners on the corners for Joe Pepitone. 3-6 is a base hit to center field. It's 2-zip. Fans are going nuts here. Pachork will stay at second. Make the final out at third. And number 7 hitter Danny Thompson. 65 off Downing is short X. It's Campaneris, a 2E27 shortstop, makes the play. Well, big inning for the Mariners. Had Bill North not gotten thrown out stealing, it would have been a bigger inning. 2-0. The latest bruise, black and blue mark on the Oakland ego as we go to the second. Sal Bando. 67, pop the first. So yeah, folks, this is the team. The Seattle. If you don't have a team yet, you just don't have one, you really want to go to the Seattle bandwagon and just find some room there because they're playing the Oakland A's and they've got literally no shot whatsoever. You're talking about a team that won 3 straight World Series from 1972, 3, and 4, but were technically better in 1969, 70, and 71, but so was the Baltimore Orioles. So that's all that the Mariners are going up against, with a bunch of guys who weren't even full-time players on any of their teams. I don't think any of the Seattle players, I'll go through their at-bats next time they come around to see if any of these guys are full-time players or not. So anyway, back to the game. It's Mike Hegan. 46, base hit off Grimsley. Gene Tennis. 2-9 is a walk. 2 on, 1 out for Claudel Washington. 5-11's a K. And with 2 outs, Pat Corrales is getting the start against a lefty. Is a K. Oakland not nearly as good against lefties as righties. Pat Corrales, Larry Brown play. On the bench, you've got Dick Green, Rusty Torres, and Steve Olivares. They all hit better than the guys who are in versus lefties. Bottom of the second, it's John Vukovic, who had 80 at-bats. 4-6 is a K. Al Gallagher, who had 311 at-bats for the Angels. 3-6, double 1-3 is a base hit. Back up top to Bill North. We know he was an everyday player for the 73 Oakland A's and has a World Series ring. Of course, he's not going to have one now, unless something absolutely ridiculous happens in this sport. 2-11 for Bill North is a 6-4-3 double play. Top of the third, 2-0 home team, Bert Campaneris. 1-5 short. Larry Brown, 68, right. Joe Rudy, 45, popped to second base. Ross Grimsley off to another good start. Matty Alou had 440 some at-bats for the 72. Doesn't say. He got passed along a few teams. I'm going to guess the Pirates was one of those. Perfect candidate for an expansion team when you don't even have a team name on the other side of the card, right? 34 lines the first. Jerry Morales was a Padre with 388 at-bats. 1-7 short. Later a Cub. And John Ellis had 136 at-bats. 34 rolls the third. See what I mean, folks? They're doing it with scotch tape and rubber bands and paper clips. That's how the Mariners are getting through this series. Reggie Jackson in the fourth. 1-9. Double on a 12. Base hit. Ace Steeler down 2. But he's taking off anyway. And he's in there on a stolen base. Grimsley to Sal Bando. 48 is a walk. Well, that was like an intentional, unintentional walk. First and second for Mike Hegan. 49 short X. Danny Thompson at short is a 336. It's a fielder's choice. There are runners on the corners with 1 out. 2-0 game. They're going to play it back. They'll concede the run. They have a 2-run lead. They don't want to have a ball get rocketed through the infield and make this a big inning. So they'll play back with men on the corners, hope for double play, and pitch to Gene Tennis. 57 short X. This is the ball. 336, but it's a fielder's choice. Little sloppy getting the ball out of the glove. They couldn't turn the twin killing. So the runner from third scores on a fielder's choice. Tennis gets an RBI and is at first base. Hegan got forced out at second, and it's 2-1. Claudel Washington. 2 sixes, single dot. 2 on, 2 outs for Pat Corrales. 63. Pitcher X. Can Grimsley field his position? Absolutely. He's a 1-0. I don't have to roll. It's an automatic out. E0 Grimsley. Scoops that ball without issue. 2-1 game. Bottom of the fourth. Tom Paciorek. 1-8's a base hit. Joe Pepitone, 53. Right X. Right fielder is Reggie. 2E9 in right field. And Reggie surrenders a base hit. You got runners on the corners. The infield is going to come up for Oakland for Danny Thompson. 34 lines to third. Still up for John Vukovic. 43 off Downing is first X. Your first baseman is Mike Hegan, a 2E10 with the infield up. And that is an error on Hegan. On his fielding rating, that's an error. And the Mariners get another run. First and second with 1 out. It's Al Gallagher. 1-8 lines the second, and with 2 outs, Bill North. 2-10, Bill North is single dot down on the Bill North card, and it's a 4-1 game, and the place is going nuts here in Seattle. Unbelievable. One of the biggest days in Seattle sports. In an era where there wasn't a big day in Seattle sports, unless the Supersonics were still in town. We've got, first and second, 2 outs, Matty Alou. 54, third X, it's Sal Bando. 2E22 at third, makes the play. It is a 4-1 affair into the fifth. Grimsley comes back out. It will face the top of the Oakland order. It's Bert Campaneris. 3-6. Let's take a look at the Bert Campaneris card of 1974. He hit .290. Was finally a 2 at shortstop, which is what they really value here. The walk total is not as good as you would hope for a leadoff hitter, but it is his best offensive performance in the dynasty years. He, of course, did have 20 home runs in 70, but that brilliant card is, of course, passed. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, you had Oakland, the stud Oakland dynasty dudes had better career seasons than 69, 70, and 71. Reggie will be on that list. Campaneris, yeah. Rudy's is 72. I guess you could say tennis is in during the dynasty, but yeah. I mean, Reggie had a monster 69. Anyway, 3-6 for Campaneris. Homer 1-5. After all that, he skies out the left field. Larry Brown, 56 off of the Grimsley card. His triple 1-6 double. It's a triple into the gap. Larry Brown, seldom used second baseman. One of the 4 second basemen the A's had in 72. Along with Tim Cullen, Gene Tennis, Manny Trio, and Dick Green, and who else has all played second base for those guys? Runner at third, 1 out, 4-1 game. They're going to play it back. Actually, they can. It's A-bunter. All 8 bunters that bring the infield up for Joe Rudy. 67, he pops to first anyway, and with 2 outs, it's Reggie. 68 lines to first. It's the Ross Grimsley show here today, folks. 1 run. He's given up 5 hits through 5 frames. Has a 4-1 lead as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
All right, bottom of the 5th. Jerry Morales. 5'11", right X. The right fielder is Reggie, of course, 289. Another hit off of Reggie's defense. He'd be a 1 in 1975, by the way. 2 years before he's a 4 in New York, which is very bizarre. John Ellis, in a smaller dimensioned park, at least. Very strange. John Ellis, 6'11". Pitcher X, Al Downing, is an E7 pitcher. Ground ball C, so the runner's at third. They're going to bring the infield up, already down 3 for Pachorik. 55 right C, and with 2 outs, it's Joe Pepitone. 65 is a strikeout, so Al Downing gets through that. 4-1 into the 6th. It'll be Sal Bando. 2-9 short. Mike Hegan, 1-8 short. And Gene Tennis, 45, pops to second base. Ross Grimsley making short work of the Dynasty A's, folks. You like to see that. He already beat him once. Trying to beat him twice. And this is cherry-picked Oakland A Dynasty cards from 72, 3, 4, and 5. Literally the best cards of all the Dynasty A teams. That's pretty impressive for a fictional team of never has-beens and never-weres. Bottom of the 6th, it's Danny Thompson. 110, base hit. John Vukovic. 1-5 is a 5-4-3 double play. And with 2 outs, it's Al Gallagher, 66. Second X. Larry Brown's a 3-22. Sloppy game for the A's, base hit. Back up top to Bill North. 32, fielder's choice. Can the Mariners provide more defense for Ross in this game? The answer is no. No, sorry. The bench can't catch a cold. You don't want them out there. They don't even have gloves. They have like mittens or whatever. So yeah, they don't. Yeah, leave it alone. We'll go to the 7th inning here. 4-1 affair. Claudell Washington will lead off for Oaktown. 54 off the Grimsley card. He finally hit it. Off of Grimsley. This is Homer. 1 of 13. Double the rest. Misses the homer. Hits the top of the wall. That's a 2-bagger. So Claudell's at second base for Pat Corrales. 55. They're hitting the Grimsley card now. Homer 1 double. That's another double. We got a 4-2 game. And now the tying run will step into the box, and that is Campaneris. Doesn't have power. Grimsley's a batter away from breaking. I think you leave him in there, and if he breaks, he breaks. You just get him out of there. He can't lose. He can't lose the game because he'll be hit the point of weakness. But he's going to battle. With a runner at second, nobody out in a 4-2 affair. Top of the lineup, it's Bert Campaneris. 45, pops to second base. Point of weakness dot. Didn't get it. You're just 1 base runner short of point of weakness. Now you got Larry Brown. 1-6, grounds to third. And with 2 outs, it's Joe Rudy. Let's take a look at the Joe Rudy card, folks. This is the battle. Doesn't really matter what you do here. Joe Rudy's pretty symmetrical. Lefties and righties doesn't matter. He hit 19 home runs, 32 doubles, a 305 average, stunningly awesome defense at left field, while a great bat handler with as a A bunter and a B hit runner. He's all that and a bag of chips, folks, Joe Rudy. And he's at the plate here, the tie run. There's a visit to the mound. They're thinking about it, talking it over with Ross, and he goes, I want this guy. He goes, I want this guy. He's going to battle Joe Rudy here. Here's the pitch to Joe Rudy. 47 is single 1 to 13. Lines out on a 15. A big break for Ross. Nice diving catch and a line drive by second baseman Al Gallagher to get out of the inning. Rudy hit a rocket, but the infielder caught it. Inning is over. Stretch time here in Seattle of a 4-2 affair. We've been listening to a lot of music from the Pacific Northwest, including this Easy Chair LP from 1968, the Pacific Northwest psychedelic era of kooky music. And we found this oddity out there, and we'll leave this on here. As we go into the bottom of the 7th inning of a 4-2 affair, can the Mariners get more runs off of Al Downing as he enters his breaking inning? It'll be Matty Alou. 49's a base hit for the B Steeler. Do you try a stolen base with a lead here? He's taken off for second, and it's going to be close. He's going to be safe. 0 arm for Gene Tennis. That's pretty ordinary. And he slides in, and Campaneris puts the glove down. Can't believe it. He thought he got him out, but the tag was high. Out. Matty Alou steals second base. They'd like to get an insurance run. Nobody can really bunt here. It'll be Jerry Morales. 59 pops to first. John Ellis, 412, rolls to the pitcher. And Tom Paciorek, 56, skies the center. Well, again, they're a fictional team. They can't do a lot of the fundamental stuff very well. So it stays 4-2. Into the 8th. Grimsley, you could hook him. He hits his point of weakness with 2 base runners in the 8th. So again, if that happens, he's gone, and he still can't lose. Reggie and Hegan are left-handed, so I like Grimsley versus the lefty. So we'll leave Ross in there to face Reggie Jackson in the 8th, leading off. Here's the pitch to Reggie. 66 is a base hit to right field. Now you got Sal Bando, the tie run. There's another mound visit. That doesn't mean he comes out. I think it's 2 mound visits in 1 inning. This is a different inning. Or put it this way, he's not coming out. He waved the pitching coach back to the dugout. That's how confident Ross is. He will face Sal Bando with the runner being held at first. Here's the pitch to Sal. 6-11, first X. That's the guy defensively you want it. You want him. Pepitone. He's a 2-6 first baseman. And he gives up a single, a horrible break. So he was the best chance at the 3-6-3 double play. He smothered the ball, couldn't get it out of the glove, and both runners are safe. It's ruled a single. Tough one there. That also gets Grimsley a point of weakness. So we're going to take out Ross. After 7 innings and 2 batters, can still qualify for the win. He leaves the game. Do you just go directly to Skip Lockwood for a 2-inning save? A problem with that, 2 problems. 1, Lockwood does walk batters, and Oakland does take walks. And you already have 2 guys on base. You like Lockwood to start an inning. I'm going to go to another lefty. I'm going to go Rich Folkers. Let's take a look at this guy. Rich Folkers was a St. Louis Cardinal in 1974. He was 6-2 with a 3 ERA in 90 innings. He's a lefty who can get righties out. Very good. Very seldom do I go back-to-back lefty-lefty. But I kind of like keeping the bench the way it is. I don't want those guys to come in. I mean, I'd rather face the likes of Pat Corrales and Larry Brown in the current iteration of this Oakland lineup. So Rich Folkers will try and pick up where Ross Grimsley left off in the 8th inning. Same lefty-lefty matchup here. First and second, nobody out. It's Mike Hegan. Let's take a look at this guy. Hegan played in the 72 series, hit .329, devastating card that Oakland can manipulate as their everyday first baseman. Shed no tears for them losing guys like Bill North and Mike Epstein and Paul Lindblad and Vida Blue and whoever else is in here. I mean, they still have, you know, extra players that are pretty awesome. So Mike Hegan will bat with first and second, nobody out in a 4-2 affair. Here's the pitch. 57 is a strikeout. Big out by Folkers. Now you got Gene Tennis. Remember me telling you how he's hit some big home runs in clutch moments. And this is another one of those moments. Let's take a look at the card. Tennis, best year in the dynasty was 73. 24 homers, 101 walks, hit .258. Best performance in a World Series, of course, is 72 with the 3 homers. But, wow. He could even play second base. He's another one of the guys who could play second base for Oakland in a pinch. So, first and second, 1 out. Here's the pitch to Gene Tennis. 54 off of Folkers is a liner to second. That's a 3-run homer if Ross Grimsley was out there. And with 2 outs, it's Claudell Washington. 59, Claudell connects off of Folkers. It's homer 1-2, double to center field. 1 run scores. Does Bando try to truck around and tie the game? We have to look at Bando's running here. How's his card? 13, 14, 15 against the North Arm -2. It's a 13 to score. He scores with a 5. It's a tie game. Sal Bando trucks around from first on a double by Claudell Washington. We got a 4-4 affair. Runner at second for Pat Corrales. 69 skies to center field. Well, game is tied. Bottom of the 8th. Al Downing, we could get him out of there so he doesn't take a loss. So that means Grimsley gets a no decision. Downing is going to leave after 7. He gets a no decision. 8th inning. We're going to go Jim Todd as a relief 4 for Oakland. Jim Todd coming out of the Oakland bullpen in the 8th inning. He will face Joe Pepitone. 2-8 rolls to third. Danny Thompson, 56, flies to left. And John Vukovic, 1-5, grounds to third. 4-4 in the 9th. Folkers, he will continue. He's a quality pitcher. He gave up a tough hit there. Got the other 3 guys out, so he'll continue in a 4-4 game. It'll be Burkamp and Harris. 2-11 rolls to short. Larry Brown, 49, second X. Al Gallagher's a 4E24 at second base. And he gives up a single. Joe Rudy, runner at first, 1 out. 1-7, you saw the Rudy card. It's triple 1-9, single ... It's the triple for Joe Rudy in the 9th, and the Oakland A's have taken the lead. 5-4. Infield comes up for Reggie. 55 off Folkers is a grounder to short. Shortstop is Danny Thompson with the infield up, makes the play. Runner holds at third. And you got Bando. You could go righty here. Yeah, let's go Lockwood now. They're going to bring Lockwood in to face the righty Bando in the 9th. In a 5-4 game with an insurance run at third, Skip Lockwood against Sal Bando. And here's the pitch. 1-6 off the Bando card. Let's take a look at it. This is his best dynasty year of 73. Basically, 73 was the best offensive year of the dynasty guys. 72, they could not hit very well at all. And they pitched very well. And the whole American League didn't hit very well either. Baltimore was horrible hitting, which is why they didn't even make the playoffs. They hit like 220 or 230. Bando, 29 homers, a 286 average, 82 walks, a 2 at third base. What is there not to like? What a great player, Sal Bando. 1-6 homer, 1-12, double the rest, and he rolls the 8, and it's gone. Sal Bando puts an exclamation point on this one. And the fans of Seattle have gotten their money's worth for a nice full day in a rare sunny day in Seattle, but it looks like the party is over here. Mike Hegan, 46, is a walk. Gene Tennis, 53, third X. Well, folks, you're seeing why 1-30 at third makes the play. You're seeing why the Oakland A's won 3 straight World Series, folks. They just are loaded with everything. Offense, defense, starting, pitching, relief pitching. 7-4 game, and they're not going to mess around. They're going to go to Raleigh Fingers to finish this off. Raleigh Fingers, 7-8 with a 1.92 ERA and 73 in 127 innings. And the Mariners, fans are going nuts here. They want one more rally out of this team. Just get a couple guys on. Just make the fans excited. You got your whole bench open. You know Fingers isn't coming out. So you've got, that opens the door to the lefties, Adams and Miller. So who are they coming in for is the question. Well, one of them is going to come in for Gallagher. Norm Miller will be the pinch hitter. Norm Miller was take a look at Norm. 72 Houston Astro at 243, but he's got some pop, and he draws walks, and they need to get a guy on base, and he's a left-handed batter. So he'll swing away, leading off in the bottom of the ninth. By the way, Oakland will make some defensive changes before the inning starts. Dick Green will take over at second base, and Rusty Torres will take over in center field. And the ninth inning, bottom of the ninth begins. Norm Miller, here's the pitch to Norm. 56 off Fingers is short X. Campaneris to 2E27 at short. And it's a base hit off the glove of Bert Campaneris, and the fans give their approval, mocking Campy at short for blowing the ground ball. So it's a single. They rule it a single. And Norm Miller is at first base. Back up top, it's Bill North. 1-2 for Bill North is hit by the pitch, and the the Mariners have put 2 men on in the bottom of the ninth of a 7-4 affair against Raleigh Fingers. 2 on, nobody out. It's Matty Alou. Let's take a look at Matty's card. Did we look at it before? We talked about it, didn't look at it. 72, he hit .314. But pretty much Pittsburgh just didn't need him anymore. They had so many outfielders and guys, and he couldn't play. He really is a liability if you put him in the outfield as a 4+5. But in the American League as designated hitter, he can do very well. So he will bat here as the tie run, first and second, nobody out. The pitch to Matty Alou. 1-9 for Matty is a 5-4-3 double play. Ouch, that hurts. Fingers gets Alou into a double play. Norm Miller goes to third. North and Alou, the 2 fastest guys on the team, were doubled off the bases. And that means you got Morales, Ellis, and Pachorik, but you don't have the tie run on base yet, so we'll let Jerry Morales hit away. Let's take a look at Jerry. Padre, 281 hitter, 388 at-bats. Padres would not need him in their outfield because they'll have Dave Winfield and Johnny Grubb soon. So Morales ends up on the Cubs. Cubs won't really need him either. So he ended up on Seattle. And they could use him, and they could use him to get on base right here. Here's your pitch to Jerry Morales. 37 is a strikeout, and the rally falls short there. Made it interesting for a few minutes, but Raleigh Fingers gets the double play and a strikeout to end the series. And look at the fans, they're still here. They've just lost 4-2 to Oakland, but the fans are going, well, I don't know what nuts would be, but they're happy. They're as the guys are approaching the dugout all dejectedly, the fans are giving them high fives and that sort of thing. So we'll take this right to the box. Lockwood got the final out in the ninth. Rich Folkers, tough way to lose there. He had the 3 runs and 3 hits in the ninth inning, plus a walk. He also gave up that hit in the 8th that tied it, but it was with 2 outs. Real tough break there. Ross Grimsley gave it everything he had. He gave up 9 hits in 7 innings. Is charged with 4 runs, 2 of those because of the bullpen. All were earned. He walked 2. He struck out 3. Fingers gets the save. Jim Todd gets the win. He was the pitcher of record when they made the comeback. Fingers gave up a hit, a walk, and a K. Jim Todd, 3 up and 3 down. 7 innings for Al Downing. He was okay. 12 hits and 4 runs. Nothing spectacular. Only 2 of those runs were earned. Walked 1, struck out 2. Got to give Folkers a loss on that one. 1019, 0109, 713, 413, 3323. Oakland A's put 16 men on base. The Mariners put 15 men on base. Game was a lot closer than the final score indicates. Well, the Oakland A's, they just beat the next team on their schedule. It made it interesting. They put up a heck of a fight. Reality is they just don't have enough competition in their division to test them to see how good they are compared to other divisions. Like the National League North, where you've got the Reds and Pirates, 2 recent world champions in the same division. One of those teams is going to hope to be a wild card. So the Mariners were at 500 when the series started. They're now 7-9. They're hitting .271. They got a .469 ERA. Grimsley, in 4 starts, is 3-1. Doing very well. With a .265 ERA. A nice pickup, joining Steve Klein, Dick Woodson, and Steve Busby in the Seattle rotation. Not a lot of power for the Mariners. Bill North has 7 stolen bases. He's having a nice year. Meanwhile, the Oakland A's just keep rolling along. They've won every series they've played. They've got an interleague series remaining with the Atlanta Braves, I believe. And then they finish it up with the Angels, who are having a horrible year in the best of 7. Reasonable to assume the A's will win all their series before the All-Star break. The A's are hitting .289, a .392 ERA. Catfish Hunter's 5-0, though he's gotten 2 wins in this series, or maybe 1 in a no decision where he didn't pitch particularly well. For the year, he's pitched well. He's got a .347 ERA on the year. He's had a couple rough starts in there. Raleigh Fingers, oh boy, folks. Here's your fireman of the year. He's 1-0 with 8 saves. He saved 8 of the 14 victories, 12 innings, 6 hits, no runs, 4 walks, and 9 strikeouts. Perfect year for Raleigh Fingers. How are you going to beat the Oakland A's if Raleigh Fingers is perfect? Beyond all the other riches the team has. 6 homers leads the club. That's Gene Tennis. And 19 RBI. 29 hits for, is that Hegan or Reggie? Hegan's got 29 hits. He's got more hits than Reggie. He's 29 for 79. Mike Hegan's hitting .367. Reggie's doing fine. Reggie's hitting .293. It's about right on par there for him. And the big macro picture in the American League West, there it is, folks. Yep, Oakland A's 14-5 now. It's like, why are you playing the Dynasty A's? They're going to win the World Series. Nah. Like I said, they don't have all the pieces. They didn't have Bill North in this last series, for instance. But, the A's are currently sitting. This is really the best performance Oakland has had in a regular season. Normally, they're hitting the snooze bar and just slumping through a season waiting for the playoffs to start. This year, they got out of the blocks with a hot start and are just trying to go pole to pole, just to pull off a secretariat and just run the whole rest of the American League out of the race. So break up the Oakland A's, and to a certain extent break up the Seattle Mariners. But the Oakland A's beat the Mariners 4 games to 2. Thanks for checking this out, and we'll see you next time.